it seems like there's something there definitely around that idea of creating a bubble specifically to produce things that have like the thing that goes through my head a lot when people are specifically asking you about like something you're writing or something you're putting together that is a creative project, and then they want to see it. And then there are times in that process where I'm very protective not to do that. Like when they're asking, I'm now regretting mentioning it exists, because that's usually the first thing people say. And it feels like a little sapling. Like if it's a tiny seed that's barely sprouted, and if you put it in, you give it too much water, you give it too much sunlight, it's just going to die. And it's sort of the same with creative projects, that if somebody comes in here, and it's not necessarily intended to be malicious, but it's like people have a hard time, it seems, not giving their critical judgment on anything they see ever. So why would it be different for a creative thing? So if you do show them something in this embryonic phase, they're just like, oh, that sucks, or oh, that sounds cool, but what if this XYZ? And you're like, fuck, this is not what it was supposed to be happening. Get out of my lab, get out of my workshop. Like,
yeah.
It speaks to that protective, like you have to bubble it, otherwise forces that don't intend to be destructive can super be destructive.
I couldn't agree more. And those forces do inevitably end up finding a voice, unless you're really sort of vigilant in you're sort of really focused on what you're doing. And you might still be very vigilant and very focused on the project, and still some of that can sort of seep in.